Hey, Alex Maroko here of the Truth About Quickness Insider System, and we are talking soccer speed training. In soccer, there's something called repeated sprint ability, or RSA. It's basically the basis of how fast and how good of condition you are in for soccer, and it's exactly like it sounds. Soccer is a game of repeated sprints, back and forth, cutting and changing direction, backpedaling, and things like that. It's just repeated sprints over and over again. So your repeated sprint ability is obviously going to be a big dictator of how good you are at soccer. So you might think that in training to get faster for soccer that you would just run a lot of short sprints back and forth, and really get yourself really tired and out of breath, and that's going to make you faster for soccer. IMO, in my opinion, I don't think that's necessarily the best way to get faster for soccer. If I was training a soccer player, what I would do is I would probably have them work on their foot speed and their quickness and their plantar flexor stiffness about 3 days a week. I would have them run high quality sprints in the acceleration range, probably up to 20 yards, 2 days a week, and then 1 day a week I would have them do longer sprints up to 40 or 60 yards for the most part. And this is just a general concurrent model, but it would be like I said, 2 days of acceleration training and then a day of kind of longer sprint training in the 40 to 60 yard range. So that, we do the quickness and the speed 3 days a week, both of those on the same day. And then to work on your RSA, your repeated sprint ability, I would just throw in 2 days of something called tempo workouts, which are basically conditioning days where basically a simple tempo workout could be you go to a football field, you line up on the goal line, and you run down 100 yards to the other end line at about 70 or 75% of your top speed. So you kind of hit this nice little running pace that you kind of hold for the entire 100 yards, and then you hit the other goal line, and then you might rest 30 seconds, 35 seconds, 25 seconds, depending on what kind of condition you're in at the time, and then you sprint back. And you add up those yards. You might do 1,500 yards per workout, or 2,000 yards, or 1,000 yards, depending on where you're at in your off season or what kind of conditioning you're in, and you might do that 2 days a week. So to get faster for soccer, that would be the general template I would probably follow in terms of just speed and quickness training. So it's 3 days a week of speed and quickness stuff, 2 days a week of tempo, and that in turn is going to really ramp up your RSA, or repeated sprint ability, and that is what is going to make you faster for soccer when it comes to your games. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions about what I just said, I know I have a tendency to talk kind of fast. Just leave some comments below. I will be sure to read them and answer them. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later.